Kids don't forget.
Kids don't forget.
You kids don't forget.
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 Judith, how are you today?
I'm well, Khalid.
I'm so happy to see you. We're very appreciative of you coming out. So did I say your name correctly? Is it Judith?
It is Judith.
You've never had your name mispronounced in your life?
Oh, yeah.
You have? What are some of the things you've gotten?
Julie.
You get Julie.
Julie. I mean, that's pretty much how people mess it up. They call me Julie.
And how do you get Julie out of Judith?
I've never figured that out.
Okay. What were some of your nicknames growing up? Let's get right into it.
Judy Germs.
Judy Germs.
Yes.
Was that an affectionate term or no?
That was a elementary school bully kind of situation that lasted through middle school.
So it was derogatory.
Yeah.
Somebody called you Judy Germs. They were basically disrespecting you or making fun of you.
Well, usually it happened if somebody bumped into me, then they say Judy Germs and they touch somebody and say no gets.
And they would say what?
No gets. Judy Germs, no gets.
No gets.
Yeah, they touch somebody else, kind of like a tag thing. Judy
Oh, okay,
Germs, yeah.
okay. So so you hated that.
Okay.
That was not cool.
That was not cool, no.
Okay, got it. And that was your only nickname?
No. In the high school, it was called Butch.
Ooh, okay.
That was not a bad nickname.
Okay, that's actually a good thing.
It was.
So it's not Butch like we're thinking, the derogatory term. Of,
well, I mean, let me put it to you this way. If people said something I didn't like when I was in high school or did something I didn't like, I'd smack them.
Really?
Or do something else. Understand, I used to hang out with the guys.
Right.
So if I was smacking somebody, it wasn't like I was smacking some little girl or anything like that. I mean, I was
Okay.
smacking a guy who's bigger than me or my size, and just like if they say something I didn't like, I have a tendency just to backhand them.
Okay,
So then and I used to wear a leather jacket.
okay.
So that they ended up calling me Butch.
Because you hung with the guys. Got it.
Yeah.
So let's go back to Judy Germs, though. I don't want to skip over that.
Yeah.
How did that happen? Do you know?
Fat and ugly, my mom dressed me funny.
Your mom dressed you funny. What did you say, fat and ugly?
I was fat and
Stop
ugly.
it.
And I
Stop
was
it.
fat and ugly, and my mom dressed me funny. And that is not a joke. I mean, that's I was not an attractive child.
Okay. When you say your mom dressed you funny.
She made most of my clothes until I hit about 11, or she bought my clothes from this little shop that she liked, Hansel and Gretel.
Okay.
And I finally, at 11, I think I didn't have pants.
That wasn't where the cool kids got their clothes.
No.
Okay.
Let's put it this way, polyester stretch pants, and you name it like that. And,
Okay.
And so I guess I was 11, I finally said, I have to have a pair of jeans, Mom.
Right.
Yeah. I was
Okay.
like, at 11, I'm like, I gotta have a pair of jeans. I
Okay.
can't continue. But yeah.
So
Or she made my clothes.
so it was either so your name is Judith. Your most common nickname is what?
Right now?
Yes.
Oh, they call Jude is a lot. I get Judy.
Judy.
Jude.
And Jude.
and
Okay.
Jude. Those are my two.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then in elementary school, middle school, derogatory was Judy Germs.
Yeah.
Okay. And in high school, it was Butch.
Butch.
Okay.
That wasn't derogatory.
Say it again.
That was not derogatory.
Butch was actually a good thing.
Yeah. It was
Right,
funny.
right.
Everybody knew me. That's what they used to call me.
So where are you from?
Wilmington, Delaware.
Wilmington, Delaware.
Yes.
A specific neighborhood? Like what section of Wilmington?
I guess North Wilmington is where I grew up.
North Wilmington. Okay.
Neighborhood was called Windy Bush.
Windy Bush.
Windy
Okay, so
Bush.
you're from Windy Bush. That's what you would tell somebody from Wilmington.
Yeah.
Like I'm
I
from
live
Windy
Windy Bush.
Bush. Okay. Describe your neighborhood growing up.
Very middle class, like just 100% middle class.
Okay.
We had a pool down the street. Then we had a swim team.
Really?
Yeah, like in Wilmington, a lot of the neighborhoods had their own like neighborhood pools, and then
Okay.
yeah, so it was like a swim team, and
Were you on it?
oh yeah,
Okay.
I learned how to swim down there. I think I could swim from the. Well, my mom, we always joke she just threw me in the water and I could swim.
So you were on a swim team. What did you swim?
I swam everything. I was really good until I was about 14.
So all 4 strokes? What
My
was
favorite's freestyle
your favorite is freestyle?
and breaststroke, but
And
those are
breaststroke.
yeah.
Okay. Okay.
I can do them all. I just happen to be fast.
So they put you in wherever. You did the speed, you did the sprints and not the distance?
Yeah. Now I could do distance.
Okay.
But back then, and I stopped kind of swimming when I was 14, I guess, freshman in
Okay.
high school. Because girls started getting really little, right? So
Right.
I was okay. I was the same size as everybody till then. And
Okay.
then I stayed at 5'2", and the other girls started getting big. Right? Yeah, so.
Okay. Okay, so you were from the north side. Were you an only child?
I am a middle child.
You're the middle child. Jan Brady.
I guess.
So
Yeah.
I want you to imagine that you are right now 10 years old. How old are your siblings?
My sister is 20.
Okay.
My
okay.
brother is 10 years. I guess he would be 6.
Okay. What was that
No.
like? Well,
4.
4.
4.
Okay.
He's 6 years younger than I am.
Got it. What was that like growing up for you?
I idolized my sister.
You idolized her, okay?
Oh my gosh, yeah, she's 10 years older.
Right.
And my brother, the fact that he's actually still alive today is, yeah, it's a testament to my self-control.
He was the true little annoying little brother who pissed you off.
He was horrible.
Got it. Got it. Did you grow up with both parents?
Until I was, I guess 8 or 9 when they split.
Okay.
think.
When they split, you were with your dad or your mom?
My mom.
You were with your mother.
Mm-hmm.
How you feel like, first of all, how was the house different once your dad was not there anymore? Like, what was the difference between your dad being there and your dad not being there?
Fighting, I think. The level of screaming, yelling, and craziness went down dramatically.
Okay.
My mom and dad, they loved each other, I think, but they could not live together.
Okay.
There was a level of crazy between the two of them that was just nuts.
Example.
All right, so mom would get, my father was a neat freak. So
Okay.
Literal white gloves, check the furniture, check stuff, right?
Really?
Dinner on the table at 5:30 every night. Children sitting at the table at 5:30 when he walked in from work. And he would check, like, my mother was, she did what she was, what she had to do, right? But if he complained about something, she would lose her mind. And I agree, I can't argue with her. Like, she did, like, he would complain that the soup was too hot, right?
Okay.
Or that it was too much salt or whatever. And, I think she would, like, lift the table and dump it on his lap sometimes.
Really?
Oh, yeah. Well,
She did it on multiple occasions?
Yeah, because, he would come in and he would put salt on his soup, right? Or
Right,
on his
right,
dinner.
right.
And then he'd complain that it was too salty. And she didn't want to see, she was like, well, man, maybe you should taste it before you put salt on it.
Right.
Right. And they would start drinking, like, when he came in the door, too. So
Okay.
there was always a martini or a Manhattan involved, and maybe 2. And sometimes if there were more than that, it could get a little bit ugly. I
Wow.
mean, I saw lowball glasses being thrown across the room at his head on several occasions.
Oh, wow.
And he'd
Wow.
duck, and he'd hit the wall, and, But, I mean, so the level of crazy when he moved out was,
How do you feel like that affected you? Like now looking back, when your dad left, or did it affect you negatively or positively? Because we talk about that. We say
yeah,
like,
I mean, yeah, in some ways, because he never moved far. I mean, he only moved 5 minutes away. Like, he didn't move far. And my mother still, like, I mean, they still talked.
right,
I mean, it was weird. It was the weirdest relationship, and I haven't seen anything quite like it in my adulthood, which is good, right? Because, like, she would take care of him if he was sick, right? But at the same time, he would not pay child support, and my mother would ask me to ask him for the child support. Like, it was that kind of crazy. Just like,
Oh, wow.
Right. And stuff like that, right? And finally, I think I was like, no, I'm not going to ask him anymore. Like, you ask him. Like,
Right.
That's your thing, right?
Okay.
I don't care. She cared, but, he did it for control. He was always going to give it to her. It was just a matter of, he wanted to be in control.
got it. Okay,
But I think the way it affected me the most is I didn't really carry into my adulthood what it meant to have a good male-female relationship. I had no freaking clue, because my mother then, after him, she dated a couple of guys, and she always gravitated to alcoholics. My mother's first husband, which was my sister's father, he was an alcoholic. To the point where she left him after he pulled a gun on her one night, and then he passed out in the chair. She grabbed my sister, and ran out of the house.
okay.
Right. Then my father, and then the men that she dated after that, most of them were also alcoholics.
So where was she meeting these guys, in
I
bars?
don't freaking know. I have no idea. I was too young to know, and I
Right,
certainly
right.
wasn't. And that's not something you asked your mom back.
But
in the
you
day.
feel like that affected your relationships with men? Like,
Absolutely. I had no idea what a real Kelly, I've been married 3 times.
okay,
Okay.
really?
Yeah. I got married the first time when I was 18.
Okay,
To my first husband. I had no real clue what a good relationship was. It was never modeled for me, so I had no idea.
Okay.
What you accept and what you don't accept, right?
right. Okay, interesting. How would you describe your personal relationship with both of them, with both of your parents?
My father died when I was 14.
Sorry to hear that.
And I was in high school, a freshman in high school.
Okay.
My mother died when I was 23. I was a senior in college.
Sorry to hear that.
Yeah.
Wow, you were fairly young for both incidents.
Yeah, my brother even more so, but yes, I
Right,
was pretty
right.
young. My father was older when I was born. He was 50 when I was born, so when he died, he was 64.
Okay.
Not terribly old by today's standards, right? But he had heart condition, whatever.
Okay.
So
Probably exasperated by the drinking.
Probably. And,
Right,
And,
right.
and they didn't. Our parents, well, maybe yours did. They didn't work out. My mother had the same pair of tennis shoes for 3 husbands. She always, these shoes have lasted me 3 husbands. She was only married twice, but she used to say that,
Right,
But she
right.
never worked out. I mean, they didn't do anything to work out.
Okay.
They just, But yeah, I had my father is my father. I idolize your dad, right?
Right.
To a certain extent. But he was Archie Bunker. I mean, in
Okay.
the flesh and blood.
Okay.
And my mom was just, she and I had a contentious relationship. Still loved her, but she and I had a contentious relationship. I'll talk back to your mom, right?
Right.
As all kids do. And it's probably the reason I got that Butch nickname is because I was used to people saying things, and she would just backhand me if I said something she didn't like.
Okay.
Yeah, so I think that was kind of. I used to go for the stomach though. She would go for the face. Like, not the face. Not the face.
Interesting. So you had an interesting dynamic with both parents, like
Yeah.
different. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Now you mentioned that your dad was Archie Bunker. Did that kind of sway you, or did you have your own opinions and ideas about other races and cultures?
Yeah, I mean, for me, like I had an experience back in the 70s, which is unusual. We were.
Is that when you grew up, by the way? Is that your decade, the 70s?
I was born in 66, so
Okay.
like
Okay.
I was so.
Oh yeah,
right-
so you were a
right,
70s
60,
kid,
60, yeah, I
basically.
was
Right.
70s
Right.
kid, right. So we were in North Wilmington was predominantly white. I mean,
Okay.
it was. The first black family in the neighborhood moved in next door to us.
Oh wow.